think your job is bad. Next time you have a tough day at the office, just remember, at least you're not drowning in human waste, crawling inside a burning chimney, or literally rotting alive at your desk. Today, we're diving into the absolute worst jobs in history, the kind that will make you grateful you were born in this century. First up, the gong farmers of medieval England. Long before modern plumbing, every city had a dirty little secret hidden underground. Massive pits called cesspits, overflowing with years of human waste, and someone had to clean them. Enter the gong farmers, or nightmen. Their job was to descend into these disgusting pits after dark, shovel the filth into buckets by hand, and haul it away. It wasn't just disgusting, it was deadly. The pits were filled with toxic gases that could suffocate a man in seconds. The stone walls could collapse, burying them alive, and any cut or scrape could lead to a fatal infection. So why would anyone do it? For the money, gong farmers were paid surprisingly well. The trade-off, they were completely shunned by society, forced to live in isolated areas, and forever marked by the stench of their work. Now, let's talk about a job that stole childhoods: the chimney sweep. During the Industrial Revolution, coal-powered fires meant London's skies were thick with smoke, and its chimneys were caked in flammable soot. The solution to prevent citywide fires was horrific. Instead of tools, they used children. Orphans and poor kids, some as young as 6, were sold to master sweeps. Their small bodies were perfect for squeezing into chimneys that were sometimes only 9 inches wide. They'd scrape the soot off with their bare hands and knees. Many got stuck and suffocated. Others were badly burned by hot bricks from fires that hadn't been fully extinguished. But the most sinister killer was the soot itself. It seeped into their skin, causing a brutal form of cancer, now known as chimney sweep's carcinoma. Most of these poor children never even made it to adulthood. Imagine a job that literally ate your face. That was the reality for the matchstick girls of the 1800s. Matches were a revolutionary invention, but the early versions were made with white phosphorus, a highly toxic chemical. Young women and girls worked grueling 10-hour shifts in factories, dipping thousands of matchsticks into this poison. Slowly, the phosphorus fumes would seep into their bodies, attacking their bones. It started with a toothache, then their teeth would fall out. Soon, their jawbone would begin to rot away, a horrifying condition known as phossy jaw. The bone would glow an eerie greenish white in the dark as it decayed, and the flesh on their faces would literally dissolve. The only treatment was to surgically remove the entire jaw. In 1888, fed up with the horrific conditions and low pay, the Matchstick Girls of London went on strike. Their bravery sparked a movement that eventually led to new labor laws and the banning of white phosphorus in matches, changing history forever. Before steam engines, how did you get a massive barge upstream against a powerful river current in Russia? Simple, you tied ropes to a group of poor men and made them pull it. These men were called burlaks, and they were essentially human engines. Picture this: huge crews, sometimes over 100 men, strapped into harnesses, digging their feet into the muddy riverbanks, dragging multi-ton ships for miles and miles. They sang haunting songs to keep a rhythm, their bodies straining until they collapsed from exhaustion. They were paid a pittance, barely enough to survive. When the rivers froze in winter, their work stopped, and many starved to death, waiting for the spring thaw. By the late 1800s, steam power finally made the burlaks obsolete, ending one of the most grueling forms of human labor ever conceived. Let's move on to a job where one tiny mistake meant instant death: the snake milker. In the ancient world, venom was a key ingredient for poisoned arrows and other deadly weapons. To get it, armies employed snake milkers. These incredibly brave, or perhaps desperate, Individuals would hunt and capture the world's deadliest snakes, like vipers and cobras. Their task was to carefully hold the snake, force its mouth open over a container, and squeeze its venom glands to milk it. There were no anti-venoms back then. The venoms they handled could paralyze your nerves, dissolve your blood cells, or cause your flesh to decay instantly. One slip, one misplaced finger, one surprise strike from the snake, and it was all over. Today, snake milking is still a real profession, but it's done in safe, controlled labs to create the very anti-venom that saves lives. Next, we have the drummer boys, children sent to the front lines of war. Before radios and modern communication, armies relied on drums and bugles to give commands in the chaos of battle. These signals were relayed by drummer boys, some as young as 9 or 10 years old. They marched into the heart of the fighting, completely unarmed, carrying only their drum. This made them prime targets for the enemy, because taking out the drummer meant sowing confusion in the ranks. Their job wasn't just to play the drum, they were also expected to act as stretcher bearers for the wounded, assist surgeons with amputations in bloody field hospitals, and carry the bodies of their fallen comrades off the battlefield. For these boys, childhood ended the day they enlisted. Finally, we arrive at one of the most bizarre yet powerful positions in history, the groom of the stool, in Tudor and Stuart England. This was one of the most sought-after jobs in the royal court, and it required you to do one thing: help the king go to the toilet. The groom of the stool was responsible for assisting the king with his commode, a portable toilet monitoring his bowel movements for signs of illness, and, yes, the cleaning up afterward. While it sounds utterly humiliating, this position offered unparalleled intimacy and access to the monarch. The groom of the stool became the king's closest confidant, controlling who got to see him, influencing his decisions, and wielding immense political power behind the scenes. This strange and coveted job existed for over 400 years, proving that proximity to power, no matter how unpleasant, is a powerful currency. From the filth of the cesspits to the throne room, history wasn't glorious for everyone. For many, progress was paid for with their health, their childhoods, and their lives. The next time you're having a bad day at work, just be glad you're not a gong farmer. If you were fascinated by these horrifying jobs and want to hear about even more, let us know in the comments if you want a part 2. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the weird and wild side of history.